Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Filmmaking Sucks podcast,
where we tell you about all the mistakes you can make when shooting a film and how to avoid them.
And I'm one of your hosts, Manny.
And I'm Lindsay.
And we are here today on location in the 4MileCircus studio. Say hello, guys.
Hey.
Hey. Do y'all two have names?
No.
Okay.
Names are for people who earn them. We haven't earned names yet.
But sometimes people call you Sean Mannion.
This is sometimes people call me that.
And sometimes people call me Nicole Solomon. It's been
Don't
known
say
to
that.
happen.
No, it's okay. You don't have to say that about yourself.
Sometimes it's the other way around.
Yeah, sometimes he's Nicole.
Yes.
It's true.
For a minute there,
It's
Nicole
true.
had a very, very healthy beard.
It's well healthy, I guess. Yeah.
Healthy is one way of putting it.
Healthy's one way of putting it. Lazy is another one.
That's fine.
I
That's
hate
fine.
razors is another way.
Okay, that works. Okay.
It is
cold
a lot
outside, it's
shorter
another
than it
Dollar
used to
Shave
be.
Club is not looking to endorse you.
No. I think I would break their razors.
I think they're pretty awesome.
They actually
yeah.
are pretty good.
Yes, she uses them too.
I
I
guess
started
I
using
should.
it. Now she has her own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
pretty
time I
good.
stole it and I was like, this is amazing. So we are looking for sponsors, by the way, Dollar Shave Club. So hello. Anyway,
Sure, why not?
I throw it out there once in a while. You never know.
Can't hurt.
So we are here at the 4MileCircus studio on location. It's very interesting. We're not even using our own equipment, so we are like,
Who knows what's gonna happen?
who knows? Anything could happen. We could be. It's not far from our apartment, though. It's not far.
No.
It looks good. Looks pretty. We're feeling at home.
Yeah.
So.
You probably have as many walls as we do. So
Mhm. Yeah.
lots of
Everything is
walls.
walls in between rooms, and it's
Yeah.
great.
We got a roof too. There's a roof.
Roofs
Awesome.
are good.
Awesome.
It
Why
is
aren't
not-
we recording on the
roofs.
roof? Why aren't we recording on the
I
roof?
don't like heights.
That would be. But you live on the third floor.
Yeah, but I don't have to look outside to it. If we're on the roof, I can see how high I am. Right now, I can pretend maybe I'm on the first floor.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. The curtains are drawn.
This is why he doesn't leave the house, because he sees the stairs and says, "Nope, too
Nope.
high."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't do
Gotcha.
it.
Gotcha.
No.
Fuck that.
All right. So, you guys are 4MileCircus.
That's what they tell us.
Well, that's what you told us.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
I'm
this
just
is also
going
what
with
we.
it. I'm
This is
just
also what we
going.
tell people.
Yeah, I'm just going.
We are the
with
4
this.
Mile
I don't-
Circus.
I don't make that kind of shit up.
Listen,
Well,
we didn't ask for ID or anything, okay? So
Yeah, seriously. So what is 4MileCircus exactly? Like exactly. Be as
Exactly.
specific as is humanly possible.
All right. Well, 4 Mile Circus is a full cycle media services company, which means that we provide media services throughout the cycle of doing a project from like, hey, I've got a stupid idea, to hey, I've made a terrible movie and I need people to watch it. So, or terrible video. Doesn't have to be a whole movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to be a narrative. Could be anything. We don't care as long as the money is
there.
existent.
Okay.
What is it for? I don't know. I don't care. Do you have? Will you sign a check? Okay.
So basically, you're bribable. Very.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that.
We live in New York, and we have rent to pay.
Yeah. Nobody. Well, it's true. So okay. Well, they have a leg up on us because nobody's paid us for shit yet.
We won one thing once.
We won. We had to work for it.
It was a cash prize though. That
but
was
we won.
even
it.
more special.
It wasn't like somebody came to us and said, "Hey, we'll give you some money for this." No, we
We-
gave them something and said, "Well, you're better than them, so here's some money."
Okay.
I mean, they did. We did raise money to make 2 features.
That's true.
That's a thought. Just
But we didn't get paid for it.
no, but we still got money handed to us.
We did.
Yeah.
That's true.
They just
Okay.
make better life choices, and then
Well,
they make
don't-
sustainable.
They asked for the
projects.
money up front.
They ask for the money up
We
front.
do ask for the money up front.
We sure do.
Yeah.
Okay.
People are like, oh no, I'll just pay you later. No.
Yeah.
Half up front, half on delivery.
Okay.
Because I don't trust people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, so being a media team, do you guys split responsibilities? Who does what around here?
Nicole does everything.
All right.
That's
All right.
not actually. Usually, whichever one of us is more burnt out on something will not do it, and the other one will pick up that slack. Is how
Okay.
we mostly operate.
Mhm.
All right.
Um,
And I just always say I'm burnt out. So
Also, well, there are that we also have different like skill
This is
sets.
true.
Yeah,
This is
well,
true. We
okay.
cover
So
skill
what are the
sets.
skill sets that you're specifically?
Sean does all the After Effects.
Yeah, I do a lot of animation, titles, anything with Adobe After Effects. Most of, not all of the sound work.
Yeah, that's shifting a
cleanup and
little
mixing.
now,
We're
but
sharing it a little bit more now.
but
Mm.
I've been doing like Sean edits the main podcasts. I edit the 4-minute circuses. That's how we like divide that up.
Okay.
But yeah, you do most of the sound.
Mhm.
When we're recording, you always do the sound recording,
Yeah,
and you do
That's
most
'cause
of the sound
headphones
editing.
just look so stylish.
I know.
Yeah.
It is.
Weird.
They just
They're
kinda-
not actually plugged into anything.
They get lost.
It's just a look. He just
It
walks
is.
around wearing those all the time.
Okay.
and yet it does not stop people from trying to talk to me on the subway. They're just like, can you just take those off and
And have a conversation.
does this does the train go to Queens?
Is
here?
this a train?
It says Queens up there. It says Queens right above your head. Yeah, but does this one go to Queens?
This one, the one I'm
We're in
waiting
Queens.
for, is it
That's
gonna
it.
take
This
me
is
where I want to
Queens.
go?
Or then they just start talking to me in a language that I don't know what it is, and which I assume is probably Hebrew because it's usually a Hasidic.
Because
guy.
people think you're
Oh.
Jewish a lot.
Yeah, people think I'm Jewish. A lot.
Oh, I see.
Because beard
Because
and
of
the
the
Beard
hair
and dark hair, and
Mhm.
also I'm a block away from the Hasidic community, like
Okay.
the corner.
So you must be.
So,
Gotcha.
so they're just like, well, of course you are.
You couldn't be
And I'm like,
anything
no,
but.
have you seen the building I live in? It's not nice like the building
No.
you guys are living in. I walk by your buildings, and I wish
You
I
won't
was
let me
living in.
in.
I
them.
walk by
They're
your
so
buildings
nice.
and dream fondly.
Exactly. I walk by your buildings
See,
with my
so-
wife, and you just glare at her.
So do you think that maybe if you pretended to be one, they would give you one of those buildings?
I don't think.
Have
so.
you worked in
No.
that direction?
I don't think
You
so.
haven't tried it though.
No.
That's a long con.
That
That's
is
a
a long
long, not
That's
worth it
true.
con to try to.
Yeah, because then I'd have to like cut most of the rest of my hair, wouldn't I? Because they don't
Yeah,
have like the
there's-
full long hair, and
that's
I've got
the-
like the full long hair.
yeah.
And they've got the. I like the curls though.
Yeah.
Mm.
The girls are
Okay.
pretty cool.
They're because they got the bounce.
They
which I
boing.
They
like.
do.
They're
They
boing.
boing.
like.
They boing.
Which I like.
There's
They
some
boing.
nice boingy girls.
So, Lynn, what are we talking about today with these media moguls? What are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about social media.
Social media with media folk.
Speaking of things we get burnt out on.
I think we all get burned out on social media.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
For social media, I personally hate it. I don't like
we
it.
get that a
It
lot.
drives me nuts. It's unfortunately for filmmakers, especially for low budget, no budget, beginning filmmakers, it is an absolute necessity.
Mhm.
And if you don't have some level of social media presence, you don't exist anymore.
Mhm.
It's an unfortunate fact.
But I also feel like it's a death trap. I feel like a lot of first-time filmmakers, they start
Yeah.
thinking like, well, as long as I'm posting something, it's good.
Well,
And then it gets like something goes wrong. And then we start to talk about what happened and why it went wrong. And then something else goes wrong. And we
Mhm.
start sharing all the things that keep going wrong. And
All
we-
these things are
you know
true.
what? You know what
Spiral.
really gets me about social media though is because while it is absolutely a necessity, on top of it being that level of death, it's death in another way, because eventually, or not eventually, but at some point, you do kind of hit a wall that you have to get over
Uh-huh.
as far as following and getting fans and people to know who you are, and that wall can be the death of you, because once you hit that wall, you have a certain number of followers who are constantly engaging with you and everything, and you start to feel bigger than you really are. You don't even see the wall is what I'm trying to get to. You don't see the wall. Like we know a couple of filmmakers who do promote a lot on Facebook and they promote on Twitter and they promote on, and they have their following. But when they post on these things, they got the same 200 or 300 people seeing their posts, and they just can't get past that point.
Uh-huh.
And I've had conversations with a few of them telling them, you're not getting anywhere right now because you're doing a great job, but you're missing something in that getting past that wall.
Right.
You're literally promoting to the same 200 people who already have your movie. They've been to every screening so far, and now you're just getting annoying.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, we get very hardcore, and Filmmaking Sucks.
Uh-huh.
So don't hold back. Don't hold back.
Oh
Seriously.
yeah, we're known for holding back a lot because
Don't-
we're really nice people.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
The
no, no, no.
We're
nicest.
super friendly.
We're not.
we're
We
just
like
so-
to
What?
push
I mean-
being brutally honest because we say things that people don't ever hear.
Right.
Because the truth is, if you don't know this, then you don't realize it's a problem, and you're going to keep making the same mistakes. So we're trying to keep people from making these mistakes, which is what we're coming to you guys for.
I don't know. I feel like if they're making those mistakes, then I'm not competing with them anymore, and I don't have to deal with them.
Well, one of the ways to fix the mistake is hiring you to do it.
that's true.
That is
Hiring me to
one
do that.
way
Hiring
of
us
fixing.
to do that. They
You
could,
know, you find somebody who does social media professionally, and you pay them.
Yeah, and one of the problems is people don't want to do that because they're like,
Okay.
"Oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
I have a Twitter. I do it," and it's not, but it's not effective,
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
also to make it effective, it takes a lot of time and energy,
Mhm.
and that if somebody,
well, and go ahead.
no,
Sorry,
no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say also when they do want to hire somebody,
Yeah,
they don't really think about it in terms of like this is a job that somebody has to do, and all that stuff that's a pain in the ass for you to do. They don't fucking want to do it either. And so then you quote them a reasonable price for what they want.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm sorry, what? And it's like, well, I'm a professional and I've been doing this for a long time and I've done it for myself and other people. And when it comes to the two of us, we have done it for quite a long time
Yeah.
combined and for quite a lot of people. And it's, and like we have experience and we know what's going to work and what's not going to work, generally
Yeah.
speaking. And we're pretty honest about like, this is probably what will work, we think,
Mhm.
right now. And then they're
'Cause
like,
it
but
really
what
is
will
a crapshoot.
definitely exactly,
Really
and
is
what
a
will
crapshoot.
definitely
There
work?
is
It's like
no
idea.
formula.
and
No.
they want
Yeah.
they want that. They want some sort of guarantee, which is why I've put in contracts, and we probably put in our contracts. I haven't looked at a
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media one in a while, but we are not going to guarantee you a certain amount of
Never-
growth. We are
Yeah.
not going to guarantee you a certain amount of engagement. We can tell you what we think is going to happen, and we can apply best practices that we've
Mhm.
been developing over the course of more than a decade. That it's going to help you, but we
Yeah.
can't. And a lot of times, especially like more corporate-y
Yeah.
type stuff, they're like, well, can you give us we're going to need to have 50,000 followers like within a month. And we're like, I mean, we'll say no to stuff like
Yeah.
that. Cause we're like, if you want to hire somebody to buy you fake followers,
Yeah.
you
Then
can do that.
You
There's
can do
a
that on
Yeah.
your own. You don't
Oh,
need
yeah.
us.
yeah. And there's tons of people out there who do that.
Yeah.
That's not what we do.
Yeah, just
and
run a
it's-
bot and you'll get
Exactly.
1,000
Exactly.
computers
And-
in Korea.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's also not what we recommend though.
Yeah,
Because
because
we're
It's useless. It's
yeah,
not doing.
there's no
like,
interaction. There's nothing there.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what you need with
Yeah.
it. Which is it's and I for years, even before we started working together, whenever anybody would guarantee something like that, I guarantee you're going to get 500 new followers or 1,000 new followers.
they're
or
going to be crap
200,000 new
followers.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well then no, because I would look into this stuff sometimes. I mean, I did for myself, but even me doing it for myself, sometimes I wanted help or I wanted something else because it's a pain to do it for yourself and
Yeah.
it's stressful.
Yeah.
And yeah, whenever I would see that, I'd be like, nope, you can't, because anybody who guarantees those numbers is lying.
Yeah.
Every time, 100% of the time. If they're guaranteeing you a number, they're lying. Always.
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 It's true. It's like it is. It's a crapshoot. There's no formula. And so that's lesson number 1. There is no guaranteed way of getting yourself out there in social media. It's really I think one part of what if there were a formula, one part of it is number 1 being genuine.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
a big thing. And people have to understand that there is a difference between posting all the time and just giving, oh, here, check this out, check this out, check that out, versus being genuinely engaged with your followers.
Yeah.
It's not just here, let's look at this. No, you got to go to their pages.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to comment on their stuff.
And you can't always just post about me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
me. Like
Exactly.
I get a lot of when somebody follows me on Twitter, and if I'm going to decide if I'm going to follow back, I'm looking at them before I click yay or nay, and I'm making sure, and I'm scrolling down to see how often they're retweeting stuff and the
Yeah.
quality of stuff that they're retweeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things we always tell people when we do like social media consultations and things like that is one of the basic principles for social media success is just be a good neighbor.
Yeah.
And that means a bunch of different things, including like don't be an asshole, don't get involved in unnecessary fights unless that's your brand and like okay,
if
but
that's your image, then fine.
yeah,
Okay.
but
That works for some people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Like there's a
you gotta
company,
keep
Hate
that.
Clothing. They're literally H8
Yeah.
clothing,
Yeah.
and they just literally go and pick fights.
Death by DVD.
Yeah.
Death by DVD. My friend Hank's been running a podcast, Death by DVD, for about 8 years or so. And his character of Hank on the show is just this very hateful, spiteful person. He hates all movies. He shits on everything. He really, really. And
Yeah.
on social media, he has that persona as well.
Right.
And it works for him.
right.
But now the last year or so, he's really like, he's grown out of that.
Yeah.
And he's losing a lot of his fans because he's not doing that
Shtick anymore.
what is
He's
what
lost
is
the
word?
consistency of it.
Yeah, he's trying to kind of rebrand himself, but I told him, I was like, well, that's cool and everything, because the truth is I felt like, you know what, I love your show, but dude, there's just way too much negativity around you.
Yeah.
You're not, there's no positive anything here. And I'm like, that's just bad energy.
Especially
You
because
know,
he wants to start
now he
creating
wants to
his
start
own,
being a
and it's-
filmmaker.
That's
And I'm like, if you're going to start
Ah.
creating content, you can't be that guy anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just can't. So he started getting away from it, and he's finding it real hard, and it's really hurting him that a lot of the people who've been following him for years don't give a shit anymore. Like, of
Yeah.
course not, because they want you to be that mean-spirited person
Yeah.
who just tells you how bad something is.
Like it's kind of starting over because
Mhm.
it sounds like
Exactly.
such a different
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
And you can't sometimes people will do a thing where they build up a social media account
Mhm.
specifically, for example, and they've been doing it for years and they have a ton of followers, and then they want to do something else and they try to just shift that account over to the new project, and it's like you can't do that. You
Yeah.
need to start a new account, or
You
you
be a
need to
whole
do
new
that.
person.
Yeah, you would have to do that incredibly gradually
Yes.
to have it be effective, because otherwise it's a bait and switch. It's like, no, I'm following the angry guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
are these like positive aphorisms? Like
Yeah.
that's not.
He created a new account. Originally was Death by DVD at Twitter. Now his new one is Death to Hank.
Okay.
And I said, okay, but you still have that same vitriol behind it.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, well, no, the whole purpose is that we're really, I'm really just trying to say death to Hank. I'm trying to kill this character. I said, yes, but you're not actually killing the
Yeah.
character, because that's in line with what the character would say.
Yeah.
You're still
Yeah.
speaking in that character's voice. You may not be as hateful, but you're still using that because it's so ingrained in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing it for so long, you can't not do it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to get on there. He used to pick fights with Tila Tequila. He used to. Oh yeah, seriously.
Right.
Like,
So then you've just
exactly.
gotta-
If you hated
Yeah.
anybody on
Just
Fa-
blow it
on-
up
on
and walk
Twitter,
away.
he went on them and he got them hardcore, and got them to ban him, and then he'd take pictures of them banning his account and put it up, and so he was
It's
real
like a
into
whole shtick. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it worked because he's picking the most hated people on
Sure.
Twitter to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my god, I want to see what he's going to say to her.
Yeah. Nobody's. Yeah.
Seriously. And now he's struggling to not fight with Donald Trump. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. But he's such an easy target.
Yeah. I mean,
Everybody's
right
hating with him,
there.
right? Fighting with him right
Yeah.
now.
That's like maybe the one exception. If you want to do that, fine. Like that's
Even I did one. Even I did
everybody.
one.
Even I occasionally, I'm just like Jesus fucking Christ, and I just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do the occasional quote. We hope
So,
Donald Trump.
and Donald Trump.
all right. So let's do a hypothetical here. Let's say I have a feature film.
Okay.
All right. I just made a feature, or rather, no. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
I have an idea.
I have.
You have an idea.
We have a
I have an
script.
idea.
We'll start with a script, so at least there's something done. We have a script for a feature film.
Okay.
And it is, we'll go real time. It's January right now. We're going to start shooting this in June. I'm going to shoot it through September. And I'm going to hopefully have it ready for release or going to distributors at least by next summer.
Okay.
Okay. I come to you guys. I need a social media presence.
Okay.
You don't have an account.
Nothing.
You've got
Starting
nothing.
from fresh.
Okay.
Starting fresh.
Oh no, you know, I have
Just-
75 friends that are mostly my friends' families and coworkers.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the process? Walk me through this.
Well, I guess the first thing that we would do is figure out is really talk a lot about what is this film,
Mm.
like genre.
Who's the audience going to be for
Yeah,
it?
who's the audience? What, like, you've got these plans for it, you want to get into distribution. Is there anybody with even any kind of like known following or anything like that, that whether you're getting them, whether you got them for the film or you're getting them for the film or you want them for the film, what other films is this like?
Okay,
Stuff like that. Like,
so,
what is
all right,
this?
let's say we have a $30,000 budget for the feature.
Okay.
I'm going to be getting one name from a horror convention.
Okay.
One of the regular, like a Doug Bradley or one of those people who do horror conventions. I'm going to get
Cool.
them. I'm probably going to put them in a main role that I'll shoot all their scenes in a couple of days so I can pepper them throughout the film.
Yep.
Okay.
No, and everybody else will probably be on an
Will
unknown.
probably be unknowns, but they will be actors.
Yeah.
Like I'm not casting with my friends. I'm gonna do a casting call, so I'm gonna get people that actually know what they're doing. So it will be acted well.
Okay.
And
it's similar to.
it is a straight. Let's say it's a body horror film.
A body horror film. So
A
it's kind of
body
like
horror.
a Cronenberg type
Yes.
thing. Okay.
Yes, kind of Cronenberg, but a little bit more modern, more like Teeth.
Okay.
You know? Let's say Teeth. Strong female lead.
Okay. Cool. Okay. That's
Okay.
all good. So February will be important for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Because for the listeners at home, because February is Women in Horror Month,
There
so
you
that's
go.
that's a month to
Okay.
focus a lot
Perfect.
of your energy and get
Uh-huh.
prepared for.
And then we would and then we would also look forward to Women in Horror Month next year, considering the film will be
Exactly.
done by then.
Yeah. Lots of like good
Okay.
time to do your like trailer, put it out
Mhm.
there, Women Horror Month, because there's a lot of
Hashtag
attention.
it with the appropriate hashtags. I don't know what the one this year will be, but
Yeah.
First, is there a point that's too soon to start promoting?
No.
well, it depends what you mean by promoting, I guess.
Like what would
I mean, because what I was going to say is
Posting.
what
define
what you start doing right now is you start building your audience. Like whether there's a few different ways you can go. You could make an account that's for the film, or you can make an account that's for yourself as the director, the producer, with
Mhm.
the production company, whatever it is. You figure out which account you want to be focusing your energies on, and it might make sense to just have that be an account for the film. Or you might decide instead, like, well, geez, I'm not on social media at all. I'd rather have, like, for myself as a director, producer, filmmaker, and have that account be the focus of your energies. But whatever it is, you start building your audience up like this second. And you do that by figuring out, like we were just talking about, who the audience for your project is. And you start following the people who follow accounts that are similar, who would be interested in
Okay.
your shit, basically. And my basic advice for that is you follow 25 accounts a day,
Mhm.
every single fucking day. And then either once a week or once every 2 weeks, you go through with an unfollow program and you unfollow people who haven't followed
We
you
used
back yet.
Crowdfire for a little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
used
do.
That,
Crowdfire,
that was
yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Crowdfire is good for that. And you pay attention to which accounts people are following you back from. Because, I mean, I've found sometimes I'm like, oh, my film is so much like this film. The people who follow this film's account will definitely follow
Mhm.
mine. And it's just you're not getting the follow back for whatever reasons. And I could go down a long rabbit hole
Yeah.
of those, but it's
Mhm.
not that interesting. But then you'll find others where you're like, oh, this more general account, I guess the people who follow it are more like the types looking for new stuff.
Mhm.
And so I'm getting a like better than 50% follow back rate or something like that, which is really good. And so then like, oh, and they, are getting like hundreds of new followers a day. So there's always fresh people following it who are currently active on Twitter. That's a big one. I would say like for your film, don't go find the old Teeth Twitter account
Yeah.
unless it's somehow still really
Yeah, if
active,
they're-
and
okay.
follow those people.
Find
Because
another current movie that's
Yeah.
similar to
Similar.
it now, that's active now.
yeah.
So Raw.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
just gonna
I was
say,
thinking
like,
Raw. I was
Okay.
thinking Raw.
I, Tanya, though, would be sort of off brand a little bit, but because it's strong female lead centric, I
Mhm.
think you might get a little bit of return on that.
Okay.
And you test. I mean, because that's a big social media thing in general, is try something, track it, see what your results are. If it's not fucking working, change your course.
Yeah.
Don't keep hitting your head against a wall and being like, well, I just really think this should work, so I'm just going to keep doing it even though it's not doing what I want. Just
And that's
abandon that.
what I was
and-
saying, that wall that you hit, that
Yeah.
you keep hitting that wall and you think you're doing great, but you're getting the same response.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
basically, unless you're growing in followers and likes and retweets, change.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Or
unless
whatever
you're,
your
it
goal
doesn't.
is.
Yeah.
Like you don't
I'm-
necessarily want to have like all of those be your goal at the same time.
Mhm.
Like those are sort of always the constant
Yeah.
drive, but like what are you trying to get right now? Do you want
Okay.
people to like do you want more followers to start, which is what you do? You
Yeah,
just
and I would
want
say
more
to
followers
start, you want followers because you just need a base to start with, so
Yeah.
you have someone you're talking to when you're
And
developing.
when you have more followers, I feel like people are more willing to follow you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why you have to go through and clean them out eventually too,
Yeah.
because you want your follower.
You need a
to
good
following
ratio. Yeah, you need to have more followers than people you are following. Otherwise, you probably just look like, well, you're just following anybody. You're trying to get people to pay attention, but nobody is.
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
it seems like.
Although I do tell people usually when they're first starting to not worry about it quite
Well,
as much,
yes,
because you're
yes.
necessarily
Yes.
going to be following more people. But then
Yeah.
like at a certain point, you try to get that ratio right and then try to maintain it. And you know, if you go back periodically after you've been on for years, you'll have followers who just like aren't on Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
And they haven't tweeted anything in 3 years and they followed you back, but like they're not there anymore. So you can unfollow them and not feel bad. And
Yeah.
but you've
See,
still got that number.
just
And it's
did
the
that.
same
My
thing on
problem
Instagram,
is
too.
that
Yeah.
those are all of our friends, like the people that we know in person.
They don't use it
I don't,
anymore.
you know what though? Sometimes I'm just like, I don't give a shit. They're not on
Yeah.
here. They're not going
Yeah.
to notice I unfollowed them.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they start using it again and they're like, hey, Nicole, why'd you unfollow me? I'll be like, because you didn't tweet anything for 3
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Like, I'll follow you
I
again now.
just did that about a month ago. 2 months ago. Yeah. it
Yeah,
was like
I
November.
figured out about the ratio, so I
I
told
paid
him, I'm like,
for
look
the-
at my ratio, and he's like, wait, that matters.
No, not that matters, but it was like, wow, she actually had a really good ratio, but she's only had Twitter for about a year and a half.
Mhm.
And I've had the Twitter account for like 9 years now. And I'm like, you have a way better ratio than I do. And I went through it within a week. I paid for the Crowdfire because otherwise you're that 30
Yeah.
limit. You can only do like 30 people a day, you know? So I paid for it for the month. It was like $8 or so. I was like, all right, cool. I'll pay for it and then I'll cancel at the end of the month. Within a week, I got rid of 800 followers.
Yeah.
And I just did Instagram as well last week, and I dropped 400 people that I'm
Yeah.
following
Yeah.
on
I dropped
Instagram,
about
and I'm like,
500 on Instagram.
yeah, they're all accounts that nobody touched anymore, nobody looked at, they haven't tweeted in 6 months to a year,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, okay, why am I following this? Like, sometimes I look at it like, well, you know what? I'm really following the Wes Craven account because I love Wes Craven, but he's fucking dead.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
he's not.
He's
Yeah, that's
not.
not going to be a very active account.
What am
anymore.
I following? As much as I want to keep up with Wes Craven news, there's no more Wes Craven
Although-
news. Stop being a fanboy.
Although if that Wes Craven account suddenly gets active, do you
Dread
want to miss
Central
it?
will tell me. Dread
That's-
Central will
it's
tell
true.
me.
It's true.
Do you want to
If-
wait
and
to find
that's-
out that
and
Wes
that's the-
Craven has been reborn through Twitter?
Unless, so even with the John Carpenter, I removed that account as well. It is quite active because he
Yeah.
is doing stuff. But the truth is, anything of note that is on those big celebrity accounts is going to be reported.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to follow Dread Central or I'm going to follow Bloody Disgusting
Yeah.
because I want Dread Central and Bloody Disgusting to pay attention to me as well.
Yeah.
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 Wes Craven or John Carpenter is not paying attention to my account because he's got 50,000 people a day tweeting to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are in the muck around under that.
Yeah.
He doesn't notice it because you know what? The guy's 70 years old. He's not sitting with his phone in his pocket,
No.
sewn to his
Mm,
hand. It's
no.
not happening.
No.
You know, he tweets something and then he puts the phone away or puts it down for the next
Yeah.
3 days that he doesn't touch it until somebody says, "Oh, by the way, somebody wants to do an interview with you based on that tweet you made." And he goes, "Really? Are you kidding me?" You know, a lot of these celebrities are not going to interact with you unless you do what Hank did and you pick fights with them,
Right.
you know?
I did get Michael Chiklis to thank me for giving him iPhone advice.
But
though,
what is
once.
Michael Chiklis doing?
I don't care. He did
He
the
was
Shield,
having-
and
No,
I
but I'm
loved
just-
the
that's what I'm
Shield. That was
saying.
back
What
when
is
was
he
doing the
doing
Shield.
other-
He was
Otherwise-
having iPhone problems.
He was just he was like tweeting about like is this a problem when he was talking? He was like, this was like almost like 10 years ago, and he was like, is this a problem that this is doing that? I was like, yes, that is a problem. You should take it to the Apple store now. and he like DM'd me, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for that.
Yeah,
I'm taking
that's
it right
awesome.
now."
That's
like,
awesome.
well, that's the thing is you can get people
I mean, we're
some
not friends. Or
Yeah,
anything.
you got to pay attention to that. Is what it is. What
Well,
you're
Yeah.
saying.
like
You
the
pay
other
attention
day,
to who it is
the,
that's actually interacting.
big-
and
Yeah.
have a reason why they would want to respond to you, not just like
Yes.
you're awesome or like
Yeah,
I
like,
really
oh.
thought your second movie was better than your third one
Thanks a
though.
lot.
Like they're like
None of them want to
Like,
hear that.
no, but you were saying sorry.
Oh no,
I cut you off.
the excitement of my life on Instagram and Twitter was in the last 2 months I was doing a lot of those Instagram challenges, you know,
Oh,
where
yeah,
you
yeah,
do the
yeah.
birthday
Yeah.
things. And the girl who plays Tara on True Blood actually
Oh, nice.
liked and retweeted my nomination of her for one of the Instagram things.
Aw.
And then Big Rob Archer, who plays Krampus in A Christmas Horror Story, actually
Nice.
found one of my postings that, you know, it was one of those like, what movie would you want to watch again? And I said I want to watch that again for the first time because I went in with such low expectations, like,
Okay.
you know. And he actually interacted with me and 3 of my followers, where he thanked us very much
nice.
for like actually enjoying the movie so much and, you know, sharing it with the world.
Yeah, and I think there's actually a good lesson there in general about like when you're trying to build your social media presence is a good way to get positive interactions, to get followers, to get retweets, to get people liking your shit, and also just build general goodwill is say nice things about other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But whose shit you actually like. Like, don't
Yeah.
just blow smoke up people's asses.
Yeah.
But if you genuinely express something, like a lot of people aren't going to pay any attention, but some people will, and they
Yeah.
might, and that's only going to help you.
So don't tell Jeff Sessions that you really enjoyed his speech last night.
Yeah.
Don't let him.
Nobody
In large
enjoys
part because he doesn't. I don't think he knows how to use Twitter. I don't think he.
You would
he's
think.
like, That's
I don't
where
think
the
any of
pot
them know
people
how
are."
to use it. Yeah, I don't think any of them know how to use it, but they do anyway.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So then another other thing that, you know, is getting big, especially I think mostly on Twitter, is the follow Fridays, the
Yeah.
hashtag
Oh, yeah,
FF.
yeah, yeah.
I found that I'm getting a lot of followers and a lot of people that way, where it's you know, there's a couple where it's like I've done a follow Friday to them, and then the next week they hit me with a
Yeah.
whole nother group.
I don't think a lot of people know how to use that properly either.
No.
Oh, they never have.
No,
They
like
never- that's
follow
been-
Friday and you tag 50 people. Okay, we should all now follow each other on there and then retweet it and add some more people to it and just keep it going and let it grow. Next thing I know, I'm like, okay, just tweet it to everybody's like, thanks. Hello? Could you send it back out as well? Come on, retweet it or follow us. You know, the couple of people that I'm in the middle of there,
Yeah.
we should all now just follow each other just out of that alone. That's the point of Follow Friday, to follow each other.
Yeah.
Well, people use it differently. People also will just be like, "Here's accounts I like," and it'll be like,
Yeah.
"Follow Friday," like you know, like a specific thing
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
you're trying to promote. Like we'll do that sometimes. We'll
Yeah,
be like,
I've-
"Follow Friday,"
Okay.
like this project that we're like trying to like draw attention to.
Yeah.
And the idea is like our followers might be interested in
Uh-huh.
this thing,
Right.
and so
I used to
Yeah.
steadily do like the people that I collaborated with. I
Well,
don't do
that's
it as much.
that's
as anymore
pretty
for my
much what
personal
we're.
account.
That's what
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what the
they
Follow
do a
Fridays
lot.
we're doing. Other people who we work with. These are
Mhm.
other filmmakers.
Yeah, yeah.
Get to know these people.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
you know,
we actually attended
okay,
like
follow them
19
all.
film festivals this year.
Okay.
Just literally just going. A lot of them were just literally going, just go and support and to meet people
Yeah.
and to network, and
Yeah.
you know, along with seeing what film festivals are actually looking for. But we met some really awesome filmmakers, and now it's just kind of like a world of connecting everybody together, where it's like, you know, my actor who was in my feature film, we saw a film that was, you know, similar in tone. You know, we should connect the two because now their work can be connected because it's similar, you know? So
yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of like that's what I
Yeah.
think we've been kind of aiming for, is connecting all the different filmmaking groups we've run into.
Yeah, which makes sense and is really useful
Mhm.
because like in theory it's a social network.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't follow Friday products.
No.
I don't do that. I don't unless it's something really like, fuck, this is awesome.
Mhm.
You know, unless it's like, okay, this I just like I did that for Audio Hero because
Okay.
I had them for months and they did. I think just from their sound library alone, it's like 80% of the sound effects in my movie.
Okay.
All right, you know what? This library was awesome. Check it out, because it
Yeah.
was also probably the cheapest one I'd found as well. It was like $10 a month for 50 downloads, and you can get the first month free. So for $10, I'm getting 100 downloads of sound effects, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to promote them.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
and they retweeted, and I got some followers from them
Yeah.
as well. And I shared it on Facebook as well, and they followed me there.
Yeah.
You know,
Talk about the things you like and the
Exactly.
things that you use
And that you're
the things
enthusiastic about.
Yeah.
Like, because that it comes across.
it's
Like,
back to the genuine,
yeah.
Yeah.
being genuine. Yeah.
Yeah.
when I'm doing certain post-production stuff, and I'll post my timeline either on a project page or on my personal one or on our 4MileCircus account, like on Instagram or something like that. Sometimes I'll, on the hashtags, I'll tag like Adobe because we use a lot of Adobe products.
Mhm.
Occasionally the account for that particular product, because they have an account for every product, will like the post or something like that. I don't think they've ever really followed us because they're like, we're Adobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need you.
But-
But
you
you
know,
got
they-
20 million
you know,
people doing this. So
yeah.
they need you for.
But it doesn't.
But
It
you still
doesn't.
get that interaction.
Yeah, if you're saying something positive about something or somebody, it usually doesn't hurt as long as you're not being too spammy about it. To
You
tag
could also
them
have the
some.
right timing where Adobe's social media person happens to be online at
Yeah.
that moment,
Yeah.
and they see it is their job to respond or at least like and retweet
Yeah,
it, so
yeah.
to push their brand out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you might have that timing where, all right, this is their hour of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they're going to do it. Cool. I'm going to send them messages or tweets or whatever at this time
Yeah.
Absolutely.
to increase your chances of them actually noticing you. Now they're not noticing you because again, you're one of 20 million people that are on their account, but the people who follow them can now notice you.
Yeah.
And that's
That tends to,
Yeah. move us into production.
Okay.
You've been way too quiet over there.
I know I'm really quiet today. I don't know why. Because I just want to learn. I want to learn. I want to absorb all of this
So
information.
do you want me to?
No. Production. So pretty much, we did our pre-production.
What did
We
say,
reached
June
out.
we start shooting.
June we were going to start shooting. So now it's May. We found our audience. We tried a bunch of different techniques. We did follow Fridays. We did finding similar accounts and following their followers. So now it's June. I'm getting ready to go into production.
We're
Where
gonna
does
shoot on weekends?
we're going to shoot on
because
weekends because we have full-time
jobs.
jobs.
Mhm.
We're gonna be shooting on weekends through what did we say, September?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you want to have somebody like on set who's posting from set? I mean, is that something that's
Ideally, I would.
I wouldn't necessarily have them posting from set. I mean, you can. There's nothing wrong with that, but I would have them like taking pictures and doing
Yeah.
stuff, and then vet it later.
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily want, oh, that's a shitty photo. My ass crack is hanging out there. You want to cut out some of those.
It depends who it is and how much you trust their
Exactly.
Right.
discretion. And then there's also the issue always of like probably, I mean, not to speculate about your film, but
Mhm.
like it's not necessarily something where you're super terrified about like leaks of
Yeah.
plot stuff, but still,
Well,
you
we had
don't-
days like that. We're like, okay, well, we're shooting the end scene. No photos
Yeah.
online today. Okay,
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
posting anything. Anything you guys take, send it to me, and I'll let you know what you can post. But anything about no blood in any of the shots, because it was a very limited scene to when it happened. So if you got blood in the shot, well, great, you just gave away the ending.
Ex-
You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we did for Theta. It was
Yeah.
very specific days. But we're in a restaurant. Post all you want.
Exactly.
So of course, we're going to give people guidelines of what not to share.
Especially because a lot of times the stuff you most want people not to share is
Mhm.
the stuff that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
the most
Yeah.
like I had a film where a character's head explodes, and so we had this like fake head
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that like was being touched up, and that the effects
Yeah.
person was doing, and like that was the coolest looking thing on set, obviously. And
Yeah.
I'm also like, well, if anyone sees that, they know that character's dying.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, see, now that brings the other side of the argument that I've, in my own head, I said, but how many people are really following it in the first place?
oh, not many.
You know,
I mean,
exact-
it's not the
So would at the same time posting that get the followers you're looking for in the first place?
I mean, I think it's just a judgment call.
Yeah.
Like I think I would be very sympathetic to a director being like, you know what, maybe it'll spoil it for like 2 people, but it's
Yeah.
worth it for me to get the interest
Yeah.
that these images are going to drum
and
up. Like that's
I lean
legitimate
more
too.
on that side because I'm like, well, you
Yeah,
saw one
I'm-
photo
I'm
that doesn't tell
starting
you what
to
the
get-
plot is.
I'm starting to get to that point because
Yeah.
like the big thing, studios that are going to make $100 million in their movie, you watch the trailer and all the good shit is given away in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they still make $100 million in the theater.
Yeah. But
So-
they have people pissed off at them too. So it's just a matter of what your
As
priorities
pissed off as they are, though, they're still watching the movie.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that double-edged sword where I'm thinking like, well, you know what? I could give away the movie and people will be upset because they saw the cool stuff, but you know what? They already saw the movie.
But
Yeah, I think
but
that's
think it's
at the same
legitimate.
time, like, how much are they really seeing?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, are they seeing the person in the makeup chair? Well, what's going to happen? You're not posting the
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
You're posting like part of the scene.
Mhm.
Right.
Maybe you're posting the aftermath of the scene. How did it get there? I don't know.
I mean, I think that if you
Like,
were doing a very heavy
she's-
practical,
Wheels are turning over here.
Yeah.
like practical effects, if you were doing a film with heavy practicals, I feel like you should
Blood
just
Slaughter we did.
yeah
Yeah.
just bite the bullet and just share it, because it's like you're gonna be courting
You-
those people.
Yeah.
That's the people that you want.
Yeah.
You want the people who are gonna
Yeah.
be like, yeah, I want to see the arms split open or
Mhm.
something like that. Yeah.
And I mean, usually how I've handled it is I will definitely share photos of practical effects. I'll just try to share ones that are a little less explicit of
Yeah.
like that.
Usually the
person
aftermath,
dies.
and then laughing about the aftermath is
Yeah.
usually what I do, where it's like I have a famous
Scenario.
picture that I do red hands.
Yes.
So every time because I used to do makeup,
Mhm.
so after every shoot, I would take my bloody hands and I would be like, "You caught me red-handed," you know, and it was like, and I'd have like the blood spray or whatever dripping, you know.
What do you guys think about staging photos? Like,
Mm.
we had one photo where we were on lunch and everybody's just sitting there, and there was a huge puddle of blood just in the middle of the living room. And somebody saw all of it, like, oh, I got to take a picture of this, because we're all just sitting around
Yeah.
and blood. No scene, no nothing. That one photo got more likes
Yeah.
and shares than anything else of just
yeah.
us sitting around and blood on the floor.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about being conscious of that sort of moment
If
and saying purposely, you know what,
Get
throw
the
some
moment.
extra blood on the floor.
Yeah.
oh,
and do it.
absolutely.
Do it.
Absolutely. No, and we do that, especially if there's blood involved or
Yeah.
guts or any other sort of practical shit. They just have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Be
And
goofy with it. Be
Yeah.
like, oh, here's
I think in the,
what do we-
in
what
the
do we do?
picture, I was sitting
Yeah.
on a chair, and there's like a line of Domino's boxes behind us, and two of them are on the couch over there, and there's like a 4-foot wide puddle of blood.
Yeah.
And that's the whole picture.
Yeah.
In the living room.
like, there's tons of pictures I posted when we were doing Beneath the Black Moon from before we were even shooting, because I just had like some props and costuming stuff like at my house or something. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, put this on and take a selfie and post it. And everybody's
Yeah.
like, whoa, what's that? And it's not even directly related
Yeah.
to the film, but has an element of it. So it is like, you know, and then
Yeah.
you're like hyping up a little bit. I'm going to be working on something that involves this mask.
Yeah.
And then people are intrigued, you know,
Okay.
and certainly anytime there's a puddle of blood, you don't want
Oh, yeah, of course.
don't
Yeah.
want to waste that.
I think
Yeah.
I,
But
I think it's a good idea to do that. If it
Yeah.
occurs to you in the moment, like, don't like expend a lot of energy coming up with what to do. But
Yeah, don't
like, if
waste
you're
time
like,
on
oh,
set
shit,
trying
guys,
to.
like put more, like put the head in the middle of the puddle of blood
Just
while
throw
we're
it-
eating.
Yeah.
And like, let's take a picture. Let's goofy like pose for it or something like that. Like, I think that's a good idea because people like that. People
Yeah.
like, it's fun. Because one of the things that I think gets lost, especially when we're doing film and we're doing planned media stuff, where we, a lot of our stuff is we're thinking through everything we're doing. Sometimes we forget to be people
Yeah.
on social media. I know I do.
Which is kind of
Plenty.
the key.
Which is, and what people are looking for. They want you to be, it's like, okay, you're making a movie, fine. Oh, you just showed me like a polished, whatever, shared thing for it. But, or do you guys look like you're having fun?
Yeah.
Were you just screwing around and like, hey, this is a good, this is a good time. Like, it looks like I would love to
Yeah.
like, be able to work with
Like,
you guys
people
or
are
hang
having
out with
fun
you
on
guys.
set.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Not only do I want to work with you, I don't want to watch this movie. I'd like to work with you because you guys just look like a riot.
yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like you guys had fun, even if it was a bad movie. Like, I would still watch it because it looks like you guys had so much fun.
Gotcha.
And just like being people, I think is a thing that we forget to do a lot.
Mhm.
And I have to remember to like, I'll be on Twitter and I'll just, I'm trying
I'm terrible
to.
with it on set. I don't.
Yeah.
When I'm on set, I don't touch my phone.
Well, I
Like,
don't
that's-
usually either.
I mean,
My
that's
phone
a
will
good
go in a
thing.
camera bag, and like to the point where whenever I look through all of our photos, and we have a friend of ours, Sarah Chapin, who actually does our on-set photography.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in like no photos. I'm never, because I'm just like I
Neither
have
of us are.
neither.
Ever.
Yeah, never in any photos. I'm so busy doing something.
Yeah.
You're never
Yeah.
standing still.
I'm never in one spot. I'm going through the photos. I'm like, there's no pictures of her as an AD with their clipboard. We're running through a set. There's no pictures of me directing. There's no
Yeah.
picture of me doing anything
Yeah.
because I'm doing so many different things. She's
Yeah.
trying to not get in my way.
Yeah.
Right.
you know? So there's pictures of everybody having fun on set. It almost looks like we weren't even there in some of the pictures.
I'll try sometimes to ask somebody specifically, like try to get some pictures of me directing, you know,
Yeah.
like pointing at something.
I think
or,
that's what
you
we
know,
need to do.
like-
we need to
Yeah.
start
And
telling
just- and
Sarah
just say-
what specifically to do, because she's great with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
because
she is.
otherwise you get a lot of art department stuff,
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
or you get a lot of like
Lots of that.
grips, like, you know,
Oh, yes.
doing
Yeah.
a
Oh,
Lots
the
of that.
actors.
The
get it all,
actors just
yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah.
While
Lots of pictures of the makeup room.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have lots, which is great because I tell her all the time, get it for continuity in case we have to reshoot anything. So
For
we know,
sure.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, you know. So she's really good at it. It's just, yeah, she's doing specifically what we told her to do. And just, so we,
we
didn't-
never thought
So
to
yeah,
we
like,
never
take a
said, hey,
picture
take
of
pictures
me.
of us.
Oh yeah, no, I so rarely have pictures of myself directing, and then
Never.
I'm like looking through the photos. I'm like, I'm not. It's like I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
So
you
like,
know?
here's a curious thing, and maybe you'll
I'm usually next to
You'll
Sarah
be a
when
good-
she's taking the picture.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that looks great.
You're
That
like,
was
get a
happening
picture
too.
of that. So
yeah.
yeah,
So I don't use my own. I'm not in a lot of my photos on social media. Like I'm constantly. I do inspirational quotes of all different kinds. I find filmmaker quotes and then I find inspirational quotes. And I just don't share pictures of myself. And I feel like as a woman, I struggle to find one that I'm like okay being shared.
oh
And then people will share photos and I'm like, oh my god, there's a double chin
yeah.
and there's like this horrible acne thing over
The
here.
things that she
Like, do
sees
you
that
have
nobody
to-
else does.
Yeah, nobody else sees it, but I totally do.
Oh yeah,
And
no, I know exactly what you.
Is
yeah.
it better to put a face to your account?
I mean, it depends. I mean, I would say in general, as a rule of thumb, probably just because
Yeah.
it's the part of, social media
People-
is social. People want to know you. And so
Mhm.
that can help. But on the other hand, I would also say at the same time, if you can find a way to make it work for you without doing that and it's working, then don't fucking worry about what like the standard
See,
is.
I've plateaued, which is why I'm asking the question because I've
She's
kind
at
of
the
like
wall.
I've hit the wall.
Yeah.
I've hit
Uh-huh.
the wall, and I need something new because, like you said, I started Twitter maybe like a year and a half ago. I've got myself up to like 2,000 followers. I'm 2,060, and I'm following 2,040.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's like I finally broke
Yeah.
the ratio,
yeah.
but now it's like
And in 8 years, I think I have 2,300 followers.
Yeah.
And no, excuse me. Yeah, I have 2,300 followers, and I'm following 1,900.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You know, in 8 years, she's already catching up to me in a year and a half. So I'm like, okay, obviously I'm not playing this game right. I'm doing something wrong.
well, I'm also insane where it's like every Sunday morning I'll get up and I spend about 2 hours literally
Yes.
finding everything for the week.
Uh-huh.
And then half the time I draft everything in advance in Twitter. And then I'm literally just double posting in Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know, and so it's like it takes me about two and a half
Sounds
hours.
like you should
and
be
then-
working with that. Really.
Then I have then because I have an hour long
Yeah.
commute on the train, I save a bunch that I can literally just write
Yeah.
Twitter, posts.
Do you
on the
use
train.
like Hootsuite or anything to
No.
schedule posts? I mean, I would recommend that in
Yeah.
terms
Yeah.
of like, I mean, we do that. I'll
I do that
I've been
for my
thinking
own
about
stuff
Hootsuite,
sometimes
but
too,
I
yeah.
wasn't sure.
I use it. I used to use TweetDeck a lot, but because we were using Hootsuite for
Yeah.
4MileCircus, so I
Yeah.
kind of transitioned to that. But
Makes sense.
I mean, that's a good way to, when you have like that stuff kind of planned in advance of know
Yeah.
what you're gonna do, just like schedule it all so you can like set it and forget it kind of
Yeah.
thing. Because what I find for
That's
me,
what I need. 'Cause-
because then I mean, one, if you need to take a break, which
Yeah.
speaking of burnout, sometimes you need
Yes.
to take a fucking
Yeah,
break.
I took a break over Christmas. I barely even touched my phone.
I mean, you need to.
Yeah.
There's, I guess, a certain sort of person that maybe doesn't need to, but most people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're going to burn out and crash and not be able to keep it going if you,
Yeah.
so it's better to take a break, and scheduling stuff allows you to do that. But it also, for me, it kind of frees up my brain because I'm not worried about like, okay, I got to make sure I'm tweeting every day. Cause like it's set, there's going to be a tweet every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then I just tweet when I've got actually something I want to say,
Yeah.
which is the better content anyway, you know?
Yeah.
See, my mindset was as long as I had them all drafted, then literally every time I hit a Wi-Fi point in my life,
Yeah.
then I just literally
Or she goes out for a
or
cigarette.
I
at
go out for a
work.
cigarette. And so,
Boop,
usually,
here's
yeah,
another.
no, I have everything written. So I'll get into work and I hit the first button when about a half hour when I'm walking
Yeah.
into work. When I'm
Mhm.
having my coffee, I just hit
Mhm.
the button. Then I'll go out and I'll have a smoke, and then I'll literally go through and I'll retweet a bunch of people. So I'll scroll until I find 3 retweetable things.
Yep.
Then I'll go back and then, I'll go and I'll have my lunch and I'll do another bunch of retweets. And then when I get back to my office and I'm back on Wi-Fi, I hit the button again and I post something else. Then before I leave work, I hit the button again and I post something else. And then on my train ride home, I retweet.
I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah. I mean,
Jeez.
if that works for you, it sounds really good. The reason
But I'm burning out, I think.
well, because here's what I have
It's too
learned.
much.
I have learned that social media is literally destroying my brain.
Yeah.
Like it's changed. Like
You're
and it's a
thinking in like
real
140
thing.
to 280 characters now.
And it's also like they do studies about this stuff about how people's retention of information diminishes when they retweet something rather than just reading it. If you read a tweet, you read it, your brain processes it, and you're thinking about it. But if you retweet it, your brain feels like it's completed a circuit without actually letting the information sink in.
Wow.
At least according to one study I was
Literally
reading.
changing the synapses in the way that it shouldn't be.
Yeah, and I'm noticing it in that like
See, that's scary because I retweet things, and then when I get back home or I'm on Wi-Fi again, then I go to my own profile and the articles that I wanted to read that I just retweeted for later.
well, that's not necessarily bad, I don't think. If
'Cause
you're,
you're
going,
going
back,
back
'Cause
and
I'm
you're
going
Yeah,
back
yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
That's
you're
a
going back to read
process
it.
for it.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
that's
almost like a save for later. Yeah,
exactly, and I do that sometimes too. And if that works, that's fine. I just find for me also like because of like the dipping in and out of social media throughout the day,
Yeah.
every day is like this was one of my New Year's resolutions was to like try to be less in this like kind of permanent state of being semi-distracted because I'm always multitasking, I'm always doing more than one thing, and to a degree my life needs to be like that because of what I'm trying to do in my life.
Right.
But I'm trying to not have it be that way all of the time every day. So like I'm trying to go on Twitter just less frequently because I think the more I'm on it, the more I'm in this like certain kind of mental state of like checking in and out, and like you're never really fully deeply focused
Yeah.
on anything. And I'm trying to allow my brain to more frequently go into states of deeper focus because if nothing else, that's when I'm creative.
Yeah.
That's when I can actually like create the shit I care about rather than creating posts
Mhm.
to put on Twitter. Not to knock Twitter, I love Twitter, but I just want it to be something that I go on like once a day or a few times a day. And I'll do it too. Like I'll go on and I'll go through, I have a bunch of different Twitter accounts for like different shit I'm working on.
Oh man.
And I'll go through each one and like retweet, to like share stuff I want to share and stuff that I think is interesting. And I think my, audience will like and all of that, but I'll do that like once. A lot of times I do that on the elliptical. That's my elliptical.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough to have an elliptical machine in my
We
apartment.
created another
and-
account for our movie to do specifically that and just didn't.
Yeah.
Like I was just I like me, I was like, well, maybe I got to retweet about the movie specifically. Maybe it'll give me a reason. Nope. I just can't. Like I'm getting stuck in that Facebook loop, and Facebook is very limiting.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
Facebook
is the worst of them.
is the
You're really
absolute
good at
worst.
Facebook. I feel like you have a lot of interactions. You have like a lot of followers. You have a lot of like,
But
Well,
it's-
well, personally or as a page?
It's personally.
Personally, so that makes
Personally
sense.
can work.
Personally,
Pages are
yeah.
still
Personally, it
work.
works
Pages
very well
are-
for me.
Yeah.
But it's just like I'm still feeling that same thing where it's like, all right, well, I could be promoting on Facebook all I want, but I'm still showing it's only the same people looking at it.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
It's still the same people looking at it. Now I'm literally annoying my friends with it, and I don't
Yeah.
want that because they're annoying me with their shit sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't want to annoy them with mine. So only when I'll do it once or twice and that'll be it. So I'm trying to I like Twitter a lot because
I
of
do
the
too.
fact that, and I know that some people say the opposite, but I'm like, there's no drama on Twitter. There's no bullshit on Twitter. And people say, well, there's plenty of it because you're in the wrong,
Yeah.
because
You
you're
can
literally
avoid it
on,
better.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're on
that's
there
why I
for the
like it.
purpose of being social. So
Yeah.
you're going to get that social drama. But if you're on here for the, like, I really truly believe that the purpose of Twitter is for people like us, for creators, for companies, for things like that. Because really, if you're not doing something like this, what interesting could you possibly have that you need to tweet about this all day long? What could, unless you're unless you're doing something funny or you're doing something interesting, what do you have to really offer to Twitter other than I'm sitting watching TV right now and this is a cool show?
Which is a lot of Twitter.
Yeah.
Which it absolutely is. But
Which
I
is
look at
kinda
it like,
fun
but what's,
for-
I
to
don't,
yeah,
I
but
don't get
also
it.
A lot of the people that I follow are also doing other things, and while they're also
Exactly.
talking about those,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I
lot.
said. Like, it's a whole corner of Twitter that I'm just
Yeah.
fully unaware of because everything on my Twitter is other creators and other,
yeah.
you know,
Well, and one of the things that I like about Twitter versus Facebook is like people that I know for the most part.
Yeah.
I'll add most people who add me on Facebook, but I don't usually go out
Facebook is
looking for
true
people.
social media. It's meant to be
It's meant to
you
be
and your
like
friends social.
Yeah.
And but like I also don't do a whole lot on there for the most part. But Twitter, like there's a lot of people that I don't know, and I like that. And
Yeah.
one of the things is also I follow a lot of filmmakers, but I actually follow more. I'm a comic book nerd, always have been
Yeah.
since I was a kid. So I follow a lot more comic book people, like as a fan, I want to know. I like seeing this writer talk about things because there's some of the writers who I'm like, I really like what they have to say about stuff, even if I'm not necessarily
I like
reading.
how they think, so I want to
Yeah.
see how they
Yeah.
how more about
Exactly.
how they think.
and how they talk about current events or
Yeah.
how they talk about like the stuff that they're doing, like or stuff that they've written out about before. I stay out of fights and I stay out of
Yeah.
and comic book Twitter is full of
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
drama,
Oh,
constant, and I just avoid it because most of it I'm like, I mean 10-15 years ago would have been in there with it
Mhm.
on the wrong side too. I'll
Yeah.
admit that. Like I would have been one of the dumb guys.
He would have been talking about how much Last Jedi sucked.
Yeah.
I probably would have, but I also like I have gotten into trouble with people for talking about
Yeah.
how the original Star Wars sucks. So, which it doesn't exactly, but I got so tired of hearing
This is
people
a
talk
long
about
rabbit
it.
hole.
Like,
We're
yeah, this is-
D-nerding.
I'm not going to get into it.
D-nerd.
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 I'll pull it back. I'll pull it back.
Pull it back.
Nerd alert.
Anyway, but just like there's a lot of that, but you can avoid it just by going like, okay, some people are having a fight right now. I'm gonna like some stuff. I'm gonna like the side of the fight that I like.
Mm.
I'm gonna hit the heart, and I'm just gonna step away,
Move away.
not get involved. Once or twice, I even like somewhat
That'll
recently,
pull you
I've gotten into. Well, now hold on, and I try to be reasonable. They're not.
There's no
reasonable.
reason.
No,
There's no reasoning.
So
There's no
I'm
reasoning.
just like, oh,
There's
okay.
no
So
reasoning in
I'm gonna
200
mute
characters.
this. One of the great things, mute this conversation.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna mute that conversation. I see no more responses.
Yeah.
I'll jump in a fight on Twitter once in a blue moon, and usually only if it's because I think, and it's not because I'm trying to change the mind of anybody arguing with me. Like that's not going to happen. It's because I know if there are other people watching that fight and I feel like I have information
Yeah.
that nobody's saying. And I'm like, I want all the silent people who are just watching this who maybe haven't figured out their opinion yet to have this information. And sometimes, because I try to be a good person sometimes as a good Samaritan thing. What do you have to say about this?
That seems like a waste of time.
That's completely fair. But sometimes I will be like, hey, well, actually what happened here is this, and like share a link or whatever. And then my next 2 days will be ruined.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Just mute the conversation after that. Just mute the conversation.
That's,
Right.
that
I
takes
did
a
it
lot of
post-
willpower, buddy.
Just-
that takes
just
a lot
I
throw-
of...
can't do it.
Throw the grenade and,
Yeah.
and duck. Throw the grenade and duck.
That's how I am. But I did it once, and it was literally like we were watching wrestling, and they had the first ever women's ladder match.
Mhm.
And
It was the Money in the Bank.
it was Money in the Bank match, and literally one of the female wrestlers has a male manager,
Mhm.
and he cheated. He climbed the ladder. He got the belt and threw it down to her.
The first ever women's.
First
Money in
ever
the Bank.
women's
Wow.
Money in the Bank,
And
and
a
you let a
guy
man
won.
win.
Wow.
Oh.
I went on to Stephanie McMahon's page, and I was like, "Shame on you! Shame on you that you just told another generation of girls that they need a man to help them win."
Yeah.
I cannot believe hundreds of retweets, 100 comments, and I was like, I did it
The
once. and I was
negativity
like-
works. It really does
It
work.
really
Oh,
that
does.
yeah. It gets you
negativity.
attention.
And I
Yeah.
was like,
But
I felt so shitty afterwards.
but
'cause
the
I was
question
like,
is,
oh, like I was just so mad at the moment, and it was just I hit that, and it
Yeah.
was like. But now I have hundreds of people following me and retweeting and commenting on me, and now I'm kind of like, this is a dark power that is very
Yeah.
tempting.
But
Yeah,
you used
it's
it
true.
for good.
I did.
You used it
I
for
did.
good. You said you were mad about something where you were like, well, you know what? I have like
this is
a
It
legit
was
this is
opinion.
justified.
kind
But
of
a
an
real
injustice.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and you spoke out about it, and people supported that. And I'm sure that you probably got some responses that weren't as supportive.
Two.
But only
Oh,
two.
that's
I only got
That's
two.
that is good.
And it
Yeah,
was
good.
pretty much like, it's fake. What do you care?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
That's actually
matter.
the point.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
That's
and
exactly-
even that
well,
one,
my
he's
response
like,
to
"It
that
was
sort of
fake.
thing is,
why
I'm
do you
like,
care? I said, because somebody wrote this.
yeah.
A woman wrote this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm more
I look
upset
at
that
it-
it's fake, and this is the decision
If it
that
was
they
real,
made.
Yeah.
what can you do?
What can you
Yeah,
do?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Exactly.
I'm upset because
And
it's real,
people-
and somebody wrote this, and he was like, oh, I guess I can understand that. And that was like The one other guy was just literally he was an idiot, just being.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
people get upset about the wrestling thing.
Women
like,
don't
why do
belong
you
in the ring
care?
anyway.
It's
Right,
fake.
yeah.
It's fake. I said, yeah, every single movie and TV show I watch is fake too.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the difference? This one just happens live on your TV instead of edited. What's the difference? It's a TV show just like anything else.
It's a story.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same damn thing. I don't see any difference in
People aren't being like, why are you so mad about The Last Jedi? You obviously take that story pretty
yeah,
seriously.
precisely.
So.
Yeah.
Precisely. So anyway, let's get back on
So I
back on
actually have a
topic.
question now, and I think this is an important one because I think
I
a lot
hope
of
it's
people,
important because
It is.
we've really
I know. A lot of people
deviated.
fall into that trap where it's like they feel the pressure that they need to post because they need to have their followers following them, updating them, and showing them that they're working on things. But then when things start going wrong, when your actors suddenly don't show up or your location falls through, or you've been posting all about this, the shoot that you have coming up, and then all of a sudden it just gets canceled because the location falls through. What do you do then? Because I know a lot of filmmakers bend to the pressure and they open up and they're like, well, my location fell through. And then next thing you know, 2 weeks later, oh, my actor backed out. And all of a sudden we go into this horrible cyclone of negativity.
or every third or fourth post from you is something went wrong.
Something went wrong.
I
How do
mean,
you
Go ahead.
No.
Oh, you're the expert.
You don't. I mean, I wouldn't post that shit. I will say, depending on what your personal strategy is, I don't think it's always bad to share negative stuff. Like the one specific example I can think of where I think it was a really useful thing where I was honest about some stuff I was in the midst of a crowdfunding campaign. I wasn't where I wanted to be. And I posted a thing about how like it was really scary to be in the middle of this crowdfunding campaign.
Right.
Yeah.
And being like, I don't have my trust fund that's going to come in at the end to save the day if I don't make this. Like I can't make my movie if I don't raise this money. And I posted a Facebook post, to my personal Facebook, so
Yeah.
it wasn't the
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
It's my friends. And I had a friend actually immediately message me and be like, you can't do that. Like, you can't be negative. You have to be positive.
Mhm.
Like, people don't want to back like the losing horse,
Yep.
Yeah.
don't do that. But at the same time, within like 10 minutes, I had like 3 people.
Stepped up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and so I don't think it was a mistake for me to do that.
No.
No.
I think it was.
But I think it wasn't a mistake simply because you have a track record
Yeah.
of
Well,
doing it.
Yeah, if I was posting every day like, God, I'm so down, this isn't
Yeah.
going the way I want, that would not work. Then
nobody
people,
wants that.
Nobody wants
and
that.
that's
Yeah.
and I think
Well-
that's where it comes from, the fact that forget even just being negative, if we're talking to people who this is their first time doing it, your first time is going to come with hardships and hassles and things are going to fall apart and it's
Yeah.
not going to.
Yeah.
And the way I look at it is if you focus on that your first time out, you're not making it past this. You're going to make this movie and it's not going to get any farther.
Absolutely.
Because everybody's going to see that you did nothing but have problems. And people who don't understand filmmaking, which is most of your audience, truthfully, when you're first starting out,
Oh yeah, they don't.
tell your friends, they don't understand this.
Yeah.
They don't get it. They're just going to see, oh man, when he tried to do that last time, everything just blew up. I'm not helping him this time, but we're filmmakers. We understand that shit happens.
I also think that there's a mixed thing. I think part of it is what you're saying about how it can't be like the constant thing, the constant negativity thing. But I think that there's no shame in occasionally admitting how hard it is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because it's that being genuine and being a person thing.
relatable.
And relatable, because it is hard. Because so many people come into it thinking that it's going to be easy, and you meet these people all the time and they're like, oh, it's the easy thing because they've done like half of a job of it at one time or another, and they're like, oh, it's easy, and then they have to do the serious shit, and then it gets to be a problem. But I think the thing is like, one, being genuine about it, not being constant about it. And when stuff like that happens, when you lose the location, when you lose the actor, something like that, not talking about it, not phrasing it in the negative way, but talking about it in terms of like, okay, so what are we doing about it?
Yeah.
Hey, so our actor fell through, so we need to cast a new person. We're looking for somebody. Any suggestions? We'd really appreciate it. Things that bring people in.
Yeah.
But instead of instead of pushing people away and saying like, oh, I'm so sad, I lost the thing, like, hey, I need some help. But then I think there's a longer form advantage to talking about, or an advantage in talking about in longer form the problems you've had. You guys met a friend of ours, Christina Rea, has a whole blog series every single day of shooting her first
Mhm.
feature summit.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
mostly about how everything went wrong.
Yeah.
And
But
it's
that
great
was
with that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the whole purpose of it. And like
Yeah.
that's what we do with
Yeah.
this show. We want to tell you
Yeah.
what's wrong and how to
Exactly.
fix it.
Longer
Yeah.
form, it's great to talk
Yeah.
about here are the problems, but also in the moment,
Especially
like
because, here
acknowledging.
we can laugh about things and
Yeah.
people get that
Exactly.
it's like
We've
that
already
we're
made the
never
mistake
over
and
it.
Yeah.
fixed it.
Yeah, and you
That's-
triumphed
yeah.
in it. At the end, you
Yeah.
triumphed because then it's a triumph over adversity story
Yeah.
instead of a like, well, this person's fucked story,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
yeah, and it's also like in terms of being genuine, a thing I often tell people is like, yes, be genuine on social media, but you're being a version of yourself.
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
You're not
It's your highlight reel. It's not-
exactly
yeah.
exactly, and don't be ashamed of that. Like it's okay. Like you are built making yourself into a brand to a degree,
Yeah.
and there's maybe something distasteful about that, but that's the reality we're in. So just kind of like accept it and figure out which version of yourself you want to share with the world. And I mean, fuck's sake, like I'm not tweeting every day when I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything I'm doing. You know, I'll wait till I have some fucking coffee in my system before I like
I do that
yeah,
on Monday, but I
say-
usually have some really cute little meme that goes with it, and I'm
She
like,
has her
oh, Monday
Michael Myers
blues,
Monday.
Michael Myers Monday, you
Yeah,
know,
you
and it's
find
usually
a
Michael
way-
Myers like I can't get up, you know.
because that's that you're taking something
Yeah.
that's real and you're
And
turning it
laughing
into
at it.
something funny and,
Yeah.
and like Sean was saying that brings people in instead of just like, well, I'm sorry that girl's really depressed,
Yeah.
but like it's pretty depressing to read about. So
God, I hate that. Oh my God, I hate that.
It's
I'm
not-
not even gonna get into it. I just want to
Yeah.
say I
No,
hate
I
that.
know.
no, there
It's
I
so
hate
hard
it.
to talk social
I
media
have
and keep it
such
like above the board.
really
Yeah,
positive
close
or
friends.
helpful.
It's
For
turn
sure.
it into something fun
Yeah.
or funny or dopey. Or like I'll like when I want to get out of bed, I'm like, why can't there be coffee machines built into the bed?
Yeah.
Stuff like
Exactly.
Yeah.
people love that shit.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's
Which is- it's a
relatable and they
terrible
feel
idea,
it
by the way.
too. But it's not a like, oh, should I be worried about him? Because
Yeah.
unless your brand is attention seeking via making people
Which
worry
I
about
hate
you,
that, which I can't stand. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's
Some
gonna
people
put
are.
both-
That really is their thing. and
It's
it just
scary.
drives me.
I'm usually a very positive force. You know, I like to be funny and I like to keep things light or whatever. And one time I made this stupid joke because when we check into our gym, you get a point and you get a certain amount of points and you get free month of membership.
Yeah.
So I check into my gym because I want a free month of membership. I don't want to have to pay that money.
Sure.
So usually I was checking in and I was being funny every time I checked into the gym. And at one point we were headed towards a screening after we went to the gym. So I was like, oh, hitting the gym before the big screening, 'cause that way our fans will think we would look good if we had any, something like that. And 20, 30 people jumped on this post in the time that I was at the gym working out.
In
And
that
they were like,
hour and a
are
half.
you okay? I love you. You're the greatest. Don't let it get you down. And I was like, you
That
had
went
to.
wrong. That didn't.
that
You
did
just
not
because
go
there's
well.
no intonation. They didn't
Yeah.
hear your voice, and sometimes there's no tone, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a
And
thing to be
people don't
careful.
get self-deprecating humor.
No.
They, like it's like this whole missing chunk of things. Like
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to make fun of myself, which is 90% of my humor.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, there's a lot of people like,
Well,
you're
see,
not,
I
you're
do,
not
but I'll
bad.
post about stupid things I did. Like the other day, I posted that moment when the oil in the pan is hotter than you expect, and you accidentally mace yourself with hot sauce.
I saw that one.
That literally happened.
Yeah.
And I said again because it happened 2 months ago as well. I just put it in. It's fuck. Open the windows. Open the windows. That's I see. People get it when I do things like that
Yeah.
because I do shit like that as well.
Yeah.
Like of how badly I just did something really, really stupid. And if you were there, you'd be laughing your ass off at me at how stupid it was.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I make something like that, like if I had any fans, people will be like, yeah, well, that's because you suck.
Yeah.
You have to have a
good
pattern
point.
of that self-deprecating humor. So people to get it. She
Yeah.
doesn't have that.
No.
She's constantly positive. So when they see her suddenly looking down, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Do you need some help? Can we, for
You're
me,
gonna need to be less positive.
yes,
Work on
yes.
this.
You're too
Work
positive.
on this.
Okay. Let's move
Negativity,
forward.
what do you
Moving
hate?
forward. Okay. Back to our hypothetical situation.
Right.
We've shot our film. It is now past September, and we've been posting photos of the production and blah,
Staying
blah, blah.
positive.
We're building forward. Now we're in, here's the point where
Yes.
I draw the blank. We have 6 months of post-production. What do you do in that 6 months of editing?
People are way more
How-
interested in seeing your timeline than you would expect.
Yeah.
But how much can you possibly show to keep engagement. Like you've just spent 4 or 5 months showing on-set photos and blood shots and people with cameras and lights. Now it's literally you sitting in one room staring at a computer screen for 6 months straight.
You go outside of like your personal physical sphere for content, for one. Like you share content about the other people involved in the movie and other stuff they're doing. You know, because you're promoting them, you're showing that like we're active people doing other stuff, and that you get a lot of content that way. You've got your Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
Every single week you just share some of that BTS that you haven't shared recently. And so that's a thing every week. And maybe your social media content slows down a little, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be at 10 all of the time, but you want people to remember that you exist and that the movie's coming out. And your goal is, I assume, to be like building anticipation for the movie coming out, so people are going to be like, which festival is it going to be at? I want to go to a festival to see this and all of that. And so you tease things, you share pictures of the timeline,
or just work whoever you're working with. If you got a different editor, if you got a different sound person, if you got a musician who's doing the music, you take pictures with them doing it. Honestly, the post-production process is more mystifying to people than the production process. Because you see the production process. Every behind-the-scenes thing for every movie you get on Blu-ray is about production. Like, they'll talk a little bit about post-production sometimes,
but
it's just like, it's a computer screen, and here's like a green screen
and
thing.
What is that?
Yeah. But
it's
like,
true. The brain people, the couple of green screen shots we had a couple of pictures of, because it was a green screen studio there, and then there was all the cameras in there, and then there's the studio that's, it was a
TV studio.
Yeah, it was a TV studio. So it was 3
So the control board outside the room,
where you could see what was going on inside the room. And the photos we had of just the 2 people sitting, who they weren't even doing anything on the board. They was literally just watching the screens, because we have with the cameras we're using are not the cameras on those screens. We're using our cameras.
Right.
But this is a full TV studio, so they just had them running, watching.
Yeah.
And the couple pictures we have of them sitting there just looking at the screens at what's happening in the room got more attention than anything else.
Yeah.
Just because it looks cool. We were like, oh, that's an awesome picture. Take it. And people loved it.
Yeah, I was in still technically in post-production on my feature for a year and a half.
Yeah,
almost 2 years.
Yep.
I've been just sharing stuff. Sometimes I'll share stuff with, mine's very VHS centric, so I share. So I participate in a lot of VHS related stuff. I've got tons of props, and I'll just take pictures. Props that you don't actually see, like they're in the frame and
they're
a lot
there,
of things,
but they're not.
But you don't you don't see that that's Pretty Woman. You don't see exactly what movie it is necessarily, or something like that. All this shit, and I post a lot of those, and then I've posted lots of my timeline. I posted lots of like the audio post-production timeline, because I hadn't seen as much like of, here is the timeline for the audio, for the sound mix for the thing, because my film's actually somewhat complicated as far as the sound mix goes. So it's got a lot of different layers of like, okay, this all has to be like stylized like this. So it's huge, it's long, and it's tall.
Oh yeah,
and so I shared it, and people were like, oh, that's kind of cool. Or like, sometimes people would be like, oh, are you, they would come in with some inside baseball like question that was sort of meant to be semi-shaming, and I would just like sort of like play to it in the way of like, I'm DIY, I'm doing it myself, I'm doing it like this, and a lot of my stuff has animation to it, so I would tweet out things like, which with no context, like, here's a bit that's going in the film, and it's like an eye crawling out of a head, out of a little animated eye crawling out of a head and flying away, and people are just like, what's that? What does that have to do with your movie? And it's like, you'll find out.
Yeah, exactly.
And just whatever you're doing. Like,
and including like, for God's sake, half of Instagram is pictures of food anyway. Did you order some pizza that you're eating while you're like working on your timeline? You already showed a picture of your timeline. It looks the same. Be like, pizza came, hashtag editing, hashtag whatever. And people relate to that.
It's true. A lot of the pictures I take behind his back while he's editing get the most likes.
Yeah.
Where it's like where, literally I'm just like, this is what I'm doing while my husband's editing.
But if you saw me from the front, I'm red-eyed. And like,
one of the other things about those that I found, I haven't done this for a while, is that people aren't really tracking like which one is which or when. You just at one point just sit there like go through the timeline and take pictures of different points of the timeline, bank a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
and then just share it whenever you're like, I gotta share something. Oh fuck it, I'm gonna just
I'm editing.
share it from like this
Yeah.
one thing I was editing, or even if you are editing and you're like, this is not a part that I want to show
I
anybody.
did it this week when I was during Snowpocalypse. I was sitting there doing it, and I posted a picture of the screen editing. Filmmaking Sucks coming up later today, and yeah, like within an hour there were 15 or 20 people who were on
Oh,
it.
man,
who
the other
was
day at
normally,
work,
like not.
I was
Yeah.
writing
Yeah.
with a pencil because who the
I
fuck
got
does
more
that
people to
anymore?
that photo than the actual episode.
Yes. The other day I
Which
was
Sounds
is
like
what-
ours, yeah.
Yeah.
at
Sounds
work,
familiar.
I'm literally writing with a pencil and the tip broke. And I was like, this is why we don't use you anymore. And I sat there and I looked at it and there's the broken tip and there's a pencil in my hand and I was like, save that for later. And writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Take advantage of the moment.
Honestly, and I mean, maybe you'll disagree with this, but I find a lot of times when I'm editing on Twitter, this isn't a visual thing, but like if I'm having a problem or I'm frustrated, I'm just mad at my software or whatever, griping about editing on Twitter will bring out
Mm.
all the other editors and
Yeah.
they'll be commiserating with, and it's not really a negative thing because it's not like I'm not going to get to finish my movie because Premiere is being slow. You know, it's not that. It's
Yeah.
just like everybody, it's a camaraderie
Editor
thing,
problems,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
editor
Yeah.
problems. Or like a lot of times I'll be like, okay, I'm
Hashtag
not gonna...
filmmaking sucks.
Exactly. Or, you know, I'll a lot of times try to like not be looking at Twitter because I'm trying to edit and I'm having trouble focusing, and so I'll only look at Twitter if I'm rendering or something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
And so then it'll be like rendering break, and I'll have like a whole thread on Twitter of just like whatever I happen to like come on and say while it was rendering. It'll be like hashtag rendering, and people are like amused by that because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
I know how
'Cause
that
yeah,
is.
Yeah, that's my life too. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
half my day is staring at a screen waiting for that freaking bar to go to 100.
Exactly. But it's also, you know, reminding your audience that progress is being made.
Yes,
That
yeah,
even if
you're
you're
doing
not
something.
seeing like daily set photos, that stuff is happening under the
Yeah.
hood. And
Yeah.
and so that's a way to like keep
So no
tapped
matter
in and-
how mundane it may seem, do it anyway.
Yeah, because
Because you need content.
it's boring. Well, it's not even just that. It's boring to you.
Yeah.
'Cause you've
It's
gotta do
interesting
it.
to everybody else
Yeah.
because
Okay.
you're doing it every day, or you're
Mhm.
doing it every other day, or however often you're
This is
working on
what
this
I got to
particular
get over. I
project.
got to realize
You're
that
doing-
how
you're
interesting
doing
this
it.
really is.
It's
It-
true.
But to other people, it's interesting, and it depends on how you approach it too. Like
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, a lot of your Facebook friends are probably going to be like, "I don't fucking care." Instagram,
Mhm.
like people are like, "Oh, hey, that's kind of cool," because Instagram people surf hashtags. People
Yeah.
Yeah.
like people are looking for that stuff, and sometimes they're doing it for like, you know, reasons where they're like, well, they're liking you because or following you because of that, because I want you to follow them back or something like that. They're exercising some of these strategies. And sometimes they're just like, oh, I was just like looking at editing stuff because I'm an editor and I'm into
Yeah.
this stuff. The same with Twitter. It's like it's those ones have more churn, a higher turnover, and also people remembering it less. They don't necessarily like if you were to send like 3 months apart pretty much the same photo
Mhm.
of
Done it.
your
I've done it.
timeline, yeah, on Instagram. Nobody gives a shit
Yeah.
because
They
half the
didn't
people
remember
who
it.
see it today
They saw
didn't
10,000
see
pictures
it
today.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they saw 10,000 pictures and they didn't see it 3 months ago.
Mm.
Same with Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
repeat yourself a little bit. It's boring for you. I definitely get to the point where I'm like, I don't know what to
And
do,
see-
guys.
And see, the reason
But-
I don't do that is because I go through people's things and I see that they did that, and like I notice
Yeah,
that they did that,
I-
and I hate it. I'm like, you already posted this 2 weeks ago. Now you're posting it again,
Well, I think
or
that's
a
too
month
quick.
ago or something. Well,
That's too
whatever it
quick.
is.
That's
It's the point is that like I see people that I'm like I go through their thing. I'm like, okay, why do I have to see the same picture 3 times through the course of this entire feed? You know, why would you do that?
yeah.
well, I
But I guess that's the mindset that they didn't see it a
If
month
it's
ago.
an instant, yeah, like because a lot of them are supposed to be. A lot of people are interacting with it right then and there,
Yeah.
and right now.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the audience.
also, and like I will recycle content, but I try to not do it that quickly. It's like
Yeah.
I'll post something that I posted a year. If
Well,
it
I
was
don't
a
know-
year
yeah.
ago,
I
then
don't know
whatever,
how long it really
but-
is. I'm not looking that in depth of what the date is, but I just look like this is just me personally. I'm looking at it like I see the same picture twice on this feed, even if there's 200 photos in between. That's the same picture
Mhm.
you already put up,
Mhm.
you know. And I'm like, okay, nope, don't care about you officially, but that's me. Maybe that's what the problem is, that I'm looking at it from the wrong perspective. I'm not looking at it in that what he just said. They're interacting right then and there, and that's it. That people aren't actually not many people are actually going back and seeing too much of your
yeah.
One
feed.
thing is that you're actually looking on the computer most.
That is true too.
Yeah.
I'm looking on my phone, so
Yeah.
if
To
it's more than
scroll
3
through-
thumbs scrolls away,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Like if
Yeah.
I look at someone's
live off
Instagram
my phone now,
profile
yeah.
and I see the same photo, like just when you first there and you haven't scrolled down and I see the same photo repeating,
Yeah.
then I'm like,
yeah, that's way too quick. Yes.
yeah. But if I have to like do some digging, then I don't give
Uh-huh.
a shit. Then I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's legit. You
Well,
know.
And because for a little while we were repeating some stuff because we do our WCW is WOW. Occasionally we do that. Our Woman Crush Wednesday is Wendy O. Williams because
Mhm.
one time I was out walking and I thought, oh, that's kind of, while I was listening to her music, and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of funny to do that. And then we did it a lot. But we kept repeating like the same like 4 or 6 photos, I think.
We had more than that.
Well, it's something like that. But we
don't
definitely had
remember.
repeats. It was,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
we
It
did.
was like, and, you know.
Hank did that.
And what?
Hank did that with his Chevy a day. Every single day, he shared the same exact photo of Chevy Chase.
That's pretty funny.
It's funny though.
See, that's good. If, you, if
The
you're doing
same
that.
one of him in the car, like, that same picture every day for like 3 years.
That's commitment.
That's
Yeah.
commitment.
I
I
respect
respect
that.
that. Yeah,
I respect
Jinx.
A Chevy, hashtag a Chevy a day. And it worked.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
like, I don't have that kind of commitment, dude. How do you do it? You know, and and then when he finally stopped, he did it once again, like 3 months later, and got a shit ton of people like, glad to see you back. Are you kidding me? Are you
People are
kidding?
At first, people are annoyed.
People.
At first, people get like annoyed, and the key with a joke like that is to commit and never let
Yes.
it go.
And then
Yeah.
it's part of the fabric of their lives. And when
Yeah.
it's gone, they feel insecure.
Yeah,
And they're
he
like,
had a
"What?"
Facebook
But they
page
think
for
it's
it.
stupid at first.
Yeah.
So essentially, Facebook is just a really slow car accident. Like you just like oh my
You
god,
just need to
can
wait.
you
It's
just
not
hit each other
slow
yet?
enough.
No, it's like literally just putter, like 2 little, like you're going this far, and people are just like, I can't look away at this point. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
I keep looking for this thing now. It was so
Oh,
annoying
God.
yesterday,
but
but
only
now,
if you
where is
fully
it?
commit to that car accident. Only if you're like, okay, we are
So-
going all the way through.
Right.
So essentially what we've come up with is number one, be extremely genuine. You have to be genuine.
Yeah.
If you feel like people feel like you're just a machine,
Yeah.
they don't care.
Yeah.
Unless you're committing to a joke for 3 years straight.
Yeah.
Then people just
But you got
That's
to commit to
performance
it.
Yes,
art.
you gotta
And
And that's-
really-
that's a
Yes.
performance art.
That's-
thing.
yes, exactly.
and
it
it's got to
becomes
be
its own.
super because like why would it be Chevy Chase every day? Why? No reason. That's why it works.
It's true.
Like like if it was like a breakfast item a day and it was a different breakfast
Well,
item
gives-
every day. Fuck that.
Although
it's
that
like-
might
it's
be
like-
very
it's like,
popular.
when
With this
George
picture of Chevy
Carlin-
Chase yelling.
Yeah.
It's like with George Carlin, that joke about like I heard the strangest sentence, like if it wasn't for that damn horse, I never would have went to
That
college.
was
and he's like, and he
Lewis
did-
Black.
oh, was
And if it
Lewis
wasn't
Black?
for my horse, I never would have made it through college.
And it's like that just draws you in. You're like,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Yeah.
And you
Oh, yeah,
keep
I wanna
thinking about it
know.
like why?
Yeah, he said
Why?
he overheard
Why?
that part of a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, and if it wasn't for my horse, I never would have made it through that semester of college. And he said that it's just been stuck in his head
Yeah.
for years
Yep.
because it's the only thing he ever heard. And he's trying to figure out how does that work.
Yeah.
So you need
wanna-
to find something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like for a little while on my movie account, I would do like a VHS a day, which
Yeah.
was fine, and I had some popular like things, but it was different ones,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that was fine. But if I decided, not on that account, but if on another account I decided, here's Bruce Lee Fist of Fury a day,
Mhm.
and just posted the same one, the
Yeah.
same photo every day,
Uh-huh.
it would be annoying and people wouldn't follow me at first,
Yeah.
and then.
6
Like
months later.
6 months later,
you are
it'd be the most popular thing I've
you're a
ever done,
phenomenon.
Yeah.
and I get a movie deal out of it.
Oh my god, I feel
Probably.
like somebody needs to do stop motion of something like that, where you just moves a fraction like every day, so it
It
looks
takes
like
you like a month before you realize, wait a minute,
Yeah.
this thing is moving.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And you have to see it through the full
Yeah.
40-minute movie.
Exactly. So it's like
That's
10 years.
Oh man,
Yeah.
a frame a day. Pick one movie and put one frame of that movie
Mm.
every day
Wow.
for the 90-minute film, 24 frames a second.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
The first the first like 2 months is black.
That's it. And then the Karolko starts to fade in for 3 weeks.
Krull a day. Just every frame of
That
Krull.
would be the greatest. Like it would be
I kind of
incredible.
want to do that now. Krull
Do
a
it,
day.
man.
Every single frame of Krull.
You would
I
need,
even know
like-
how to do that.
You may have found
Because
your
Krull is a
calling.
great movie.
You could do it for Mad Max.
I think
or-
we've created a monster now.
Yeah, I think we're
Hold on, I
one.
gotta
I think
make a
we're
note for
Officially
myself.
winding down now. Oh man.
Now that we've solved that,
All right.
Krull a day is
So-
the future.
Okay, so we said be genuine. Hopefully find something that you can make viral that could work. What other quick tips would you have to keeping just to getting people to pay attention to you?
Do polls on Twitter. People like Twitter
Okay.
polls.
You can do it on your
Huh.
Instagram stories now too,
Mm.
which
Huh,
I haven't.
Yes,
which is
I've
just,
noticed that.
Which is just a yes or no. I think it's
Yeah.
only 2 options.
People
But-
just it's this weird thing, and it happens to me too. If I have the option of like press one of these buttons to like have your say, it's like
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what it is.
I have
Yeah.
to press the button.
You just want to press the button, and other people do too, and so you get it's an easy
I
way to
push
get
the button,
engagement.
elevator, go down the hole. Gotcha.
Hello, later, go down the hole.
And if it's a poll about something that's like we do horror movie polls a
Mhm.
lot because that's what we're interested in, and also what like lots of our fans are interested in. Also, our fans, our audience might be better. That was a
We
little
we
weird.
definitely don't have.
Yeah, that was.
We have an audience. I think a few of them might know something about what we do.
Other
but,
ones are
like,
just like, oh,
Mo-
they
but
retweet.
but
the
nobody's
cool
like,
stuff
hey, I
from-"
want to see what you guys have next.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do a
Yet.
lot of like horror movie related polls because people also are invested in that,
Mhm.
and we're almost always like D. Rather than it being 100% multiple choice, it'll be like D, other specifying comments, and that's a good way to get a lot of
that goes
conversation
really well
going
with
in
your games
comments.
and your trivia questions. That
Yeah.
goes really well with who you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind
We
of
should start putting the trivia questions up on there too.
we could.
From the different podcast episodes. Might be a nice way to promote the podcast.
That's a good idea.
because nobody listens to podcasts.
And
People
you're kind of
do listen
forcing,
to the podcast,
and you're
Other than
forcing,
you?
you're forcing interaction too.
Yeah.
You're giving the people a reason to interact with you.
yeah, and it's something they were compelled to do.
Yeah.
I
they're
think
not.
these new Facebook questions too. It's only
Oh yeah. I've tried to do a couple of those.
I
Yeah.
haven't done
Oh
one yet.
yeah.
I have the next one. I don't care to answer, and it won't give me a new one.
Oh really?
Yeah, I just don't. I'm like, this is. I don't care what.
Oh,
I'm
click
gonna
on it
have
on your
my-
phone and I'm automatically advanced.
It is on my phone. I just don't.
Oh, I don't know then.
No, it's just like, hey, what's your answer for this? I don't have an answer for that. Give me another question. And it's been like 3 weeks, and it's still asking me
It's
what.
just like
Still
which
asking me
one
something
you
about a
want?
desert island. Fuck you and your fucking desert island. Okay, I can't choose one album for the rest of my life. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I-
that's a hard one.
Seriously, I own like 600 CDs. I've got 150 gigs of music.
Yeah, one is not.
No,
If it
it's
was
not
like
happening.
top 10, I could be like, okay, I'll
I
come
could
up with
narrow
my
down,
desert
like, I
island
could even
top
narrow
10.
down 5, but one for
One
the,
is dumb.
Kill me.
I take that shit too seriously too.
Sean's
I'm like,
really
this is a
thinking about this.
lie. I'm like, it's a lie though. I
You
can't
couldn't.
pick one.
No.
That's another oh, are you
He's
you
thinking.
got something to say?
He's thinking.
I had a Facebook
He's
tip.
got a.
I could maybe live with Appetite for Destruction on a desert island if I had to pick something. Maybe.
Okay. On
Yeah, maybe.
Facebook,
So-
also we don't
Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, you're looking at me.
Facebook sucks.
Facebook sucks, and I don't like to try to stay abreast of the latest algorithm tweaks to the degree that I was once trying to when I was doing more social media specific professional work. You
Mhm.
know, now like we still do social media stuff, but it's like much more production, post production is what takes up most of my day, rather than being on Facebook and Twitter trying to make fans for other people, which is
Yeah.
a thing I used to do a lot. And Facebook's constantly tweaking their algorithm to make it harder to reach people.
Yes.
This is probably going to change at any point, but I've noticed that over the past 6 months or whenever they introduced the recommendations feature,
Mm-hmm.
where if you're like, I'm looking for a dentist in
Yeah.
this area,
It does. Yeah.
Mhm.
People see that a lot
they-
more.
it
They do.
shows up more. And also I think it's a similar thing psychologically to the polls of there's something that makes people want to respond.
Yeah.
Like if someone's asking for advice, I always kind of am like, do I possibly have anything useful to say? If so, I want to say it. So those things work together. And I'm wondering in terms of promoting your work, if you can find a way to ask for
I'm looking for a
recommendations.
dentist because I'm making this movie. Hey, you should watch the trailer. I'll post it in the comments.
Well, or, you know, I mean, I was thinking you could do that. Now I'm thinking of ways we could do that.
You
for
could ask
projects.
for recommendations of a building to jump off of because your computer froze for the 100th time.
You could
I
do
could
that.
totally do that.
Yeah.
There
That
you
is
go.
something
Yeah.
I would get away with right there. That I could totally do something like that. Like, I need a really tall bridge because I've had enough. Any recommendations?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
like,
What's the nicest
well,
bridge
one
in
thing
your
about
area?
the recommendations
On Twitter.
What's the
Here's the
highest
poll.
is what
What's
we're-
just the highest bridge you can think of on Twitter with the poll?
well, and also, what's the bridge over? Like,
Yeah,
let's be
exactly.
real, because some things are more, if it's over some water
Mhm.
that's
Either way-
deep enough and not too cold.
Oh no, you just belly flop. You
Yeah.
just it doesn't matter as long as you're over like 100 feet.
That's true. It's your form.
That's it.
Yeah.
You have to go.
But you
arms
also don't want
out.
to fall into the Hudson. Let's all be honest. here.
Yeah, it's a
Either
bad
way,
to
if you
go.
go arms out like that and you hit flat, you're basically being crushed because it's pretty much like hitting concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you want your
You know?
family finding you after you fell in the Hudson?
They're not going to
Exactly.
find you in the Hudson.
Exactly.
that's true.
They won't find you, and you will be a legend.
Mm.
You will be
It's just
legendary.
like he just
what
disappeared.
happened? He just disappeared one day. That's it. He posted something about being on the bridge, and he was looking at the Hudson. And next thing you know,
He's just gone.
Gone.
Probably went to upstate.
He's gone. Yeah. know?
But on the recommendations thing, I think that whenever, like, as far as like Facebook, because as much as like I know I don't like Facebook, Nicole doesn't really like Facebook. As far as like promoting your stuff, it gets really tough. They don't want you to do it, but
They want you
when-
to pay.
they want you to
have
pay. But whenever they introduce a new feature,
Yep.
Exploit the shit out of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
like the
want
first
to,
month.
they want you to use it,
Yep.
and they will push that harder
Mhm.
because they want people to use the new features.
Like
Yeah.
the congrats and happy birthday. I mean, technically,
Yeah, yeah.
you could
Yeah.
go on an assault on your Facebook where it's like if you're looking for a particular, like, you're looking for distribution or you're looking for this and you're following a certain person whose company you would like to distribute. Like, and you just follow them until you find that birthday and then you just hit like the happy birthday thing.
Yeah.
And it might connect your two accounts. And because I find that when I say happy birthday to somebody, next thing I know, they're all over my feed.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
yeah,
Yeah.
like, okay, I love you, Aunt
Which is-
Mary,
which
but
is-
like,
which is also why
I don't need to see your cat for the bazillionth time.
I also stopped doing, for most people, I stopped doing happy birthday on Facebook. And like if I have their phone number, I'll usually text them if I remember to do it.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
convenient that Facebook reminds me of people's birthdays.
is
but-
convenient.
Well, no,
Now.
have you seen if you do the happy birthday on Facebook?
You
now
get the
it'll
balloon.
balloon.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I
Balloons
don't
come
want to
up.
see that either.
You don't see the balloon.
I like
I'm just like, if I don't
Alright.
do it for anybody, I can be more strategic and just be like, okay, I can just
Well,
text
he never
this
does this
person.
shit. Fuck that guy. He's an asshole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He never does it, so
All
but
right.
that's just a whole anxiety thing,
So let's do real quick. Well, it doesn't have to be real quick. No pressure here. You guys both have your own films, things that you do that's not being paid for by somebody else to tell you, hey, do this for me. You have your own creative endeavors.
Mhm.
Expound.
like what are they?
Oh.
Yeah. What are they?
You have a short film that's on Amazon Prime
Mhm.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. It's called Small Talk.
Okay.
It's a good example of I paid for it. I'm going to do what the fuck I want because a lot
Cool.
of people had suggestions and thoughts. I made it in film school.
Okay.
And so if you make a horror movie in film school that's
Oh,
not like
yes.
a high class psychological horror,
Yeah.
you'll get a lot of opinions
Yeah.
about how you should make a different movie.
Yeah.
Try making a rape revenge one.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
we're talking
yeah,
about that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You get a lot
You
of
can hear
opinions that way.
You can hear that story on the Axe Wound panel, which
Yes.
is on our feed.
Yes.
Go back.
Listen to that. There was some similar
Yes.
there were some similar things. There was a lot of there were some men who were like, but what I'd like to see, and I'm like, that's nice.
I didn't ask you, but
Funny,
okay.
you're making your own movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, also some professors where I'm
You know
like,
what I'd like to see? I'd like to see you make a movie. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see you
know
give
what
it a
you'd like
try,
to see?
asshole.
Why don't you make a movie and show me what you'd like to see?
Yeah.
Okay.
well, I'm not really interested in this part right here though. You could just lose that scene. And I'm like, yeah, I could, except that I do care about that. And I think I'm the one who raised the money to make this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm the one whose name is on it. So I think I'm going to do exactly what I want to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For better or worse, and there's there's problems. I think it's great to get feedback. The way I try to take feedback is like, I'll let it sit, I'll let it settle, and kind of sort through the wheat from the chaff or whatever. Because sometimes I am pigheaded because I'm just looking at things a certain way, and actually in terms of my goals, something else would be better. But you have to just be kind of as clear as possible in what your personal goals for a thing are, and then filter all feedback through that. Because I've found is a lot of people are not good at giving feedback about helping you make the movie you want to make. Yeah. They're good at giving feedback in terms of trying to turn your movie into the movie they want to see, and that's fucking useless. Yeah. So that's some opinions and thoughts I have. But yeah, you can Small Talk. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Seed and Spark. You can buy it at the 4MileCircus store if you want like a ton of extras. There's like a lot of extras.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of there's a director's commentary. There's the lead actress's audition footage. Lots of BTS. Lots of stuff. That's 4MileCircus.com/store. And we're making a movie. Sean and I are very soon.
We are prepping a short film.
We are in pre-production right now for a horror short that we wrote together, and I am going to direct. And there's vampires, and that's all I'll say.
Movie. There's vampires. Okay.
There's vampires.
All right.
And you'll probably be seeing a lot on our social media soon.
Gotcha. We got some content coming.
With that.
Well, I just got my new membership card, so.
Yes, the new 4MileCircus membership card that people can get
I got
by
one too.
Signing up for the 4MileCircus club, which is other people have newsletters. We have a club.
Cool.
So,
Sean, you've got movies and stuff.
I got movies and stuff. I got a lot of older short
feature.
films, and I have a feature that we're doing the cast and crew screening of next Saturday. So in a week from recording this, it is called Meme. Is
Mimi?
Yeah, Mimi the movie.
Which is on purpose, has nothing to do with cat pictures on the internet with having cheeseburgers.
But you do get some Facebook likes from people who get confused about that.
Which is on purpose.
Okay.
It is actually more about what meme
works.
Yeah. It's actually more about what the original meaning of the term is, memetics, and about the transmission and the viral nature of ideas.
That's awesome.
But at its core, the description is it's about a young woman who is looking for the creator of a mashup videotape who finds herself instead. So it's a surreal indie drama. There's a lot of just weird shit in there, but not a horror movie. Not really.
Well, if it's not a horror movie, what are we talking about?
Has horror elements in it.
It has horror element. It has a horror movie in it.
We shot whole horror beneath. Sorry,
we shot a film within a film, Beneath the Black Moon, which is available on our YouTube. Which is a film that one of the characters is looking for on VHS because it was only available on VHS. And so you can watch just the good parts on YouTube, which is about a 10-minute long. It stars a friend of ours who's also on the soundtrack for my film, Lisa Hammer, who formerly of the Venture Brothers cartoon series.
Cool.
So I co-produced web series with her. She's delightful to work with, and so
she's
great. Like, we're gonna make a witch sort of Satanism goofy horror thing. She's like, I totally want to be in on that. So she and her husband are in there.
He plays he
plays a youth pastor.
Totally.
He plays a youth pastor. He plays a youth pastor. And
Ginny Lease is in there.
Ginny Lease, very funny
as our final
comedian,
girl.
as our final girl. She and she's peppered throughout my feature Meme in terms of being in that movie, in that horror movie, Beneath the Black Moon, as well as in some fake beer commercials we shot, which you can also watch on our YouTube, which are for Wotan Skaldlager, which is
delicious
a brand I made up,
and
you can see the
hipster beer coming across Brooklyn now.
The logo for it is in this painting over your shoulders there.
That's right. I remember you were telling me about that.
Nice.
Yeah, you're gonna put that's all over the place.
That's in almost everything that I've done since 2012. Yep. That whether it's that painting or it's that just general design. But so we shot these beer commercials in 3 languages: English, German, and Spanish.
That's dedication.
And at least one version of each shows up. So there's at least one English Spanish, and German in the final feature film.
Wow, that's cool.
And Ginny's also in that. And so she's actually a little bit more important than originally intended when I made all of those things, because she becomes like the on-screen sort of avatar for the main character of my feature. Like, so she keeps getting watched, which will make sense when eventually people can watch that movie.
And she's great, so
she's a delight. We had her on our podcast a while back. She and her comedy partner SJ Sun are very funny.
They're great. They're both very great.
They're very funny people.
Cool.
So yeah, we got films.
That's cool.
Making movies.
And
Rubber Ducky's coming out.
Oh shit! Yeah, I've got another short film.
You're a busy man.
We shot that last summer.
That I shot last summer. I have to finish the animated part of it.
Wait, there's an animated thing called Rubber Duckies.
Oh,
I'm in love already.
So it's a live action film
Here's your new follower.
about a young woman who, after a fight outside of a show, discovers a rubber ducky on the sidewalk, which she takes home, and it changes her life.
Yeah.
And there's an animated part in the middle that I have to do.
I'm excited.
The rest is done, though.
The rest is pretty much done. Like, there's no dialogue, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to have to do some sound design at some point.
It looks great.
But it looks great. We shot it on some of our new equipment that we'd gotten around the time, and on a GH4, which was I'd never worked with before, but was super fun because I could control it from my phone. Was the main thing.
Yeah, I have the 7. And that's
yeah. I was just like, we were just sitting there, and
it's so cool.
Because we were using the what is it? It's like the
Ronin?
The Ronin Steadicam thing, and the DP couldn't actually hit the record button because he was holding onto the rig.
You can actually have a follow focus person across the room.
Yeah, almost.
It's awesome.
And I was sitting there with my iPhone, and we were on the street, and I was just like, "Oh, I can hit the record." He's like, "You can hit the record."
And that is literally all we have for you, giving you yet one more lesson. Make sure your memory card is empty before you begin recording. So, unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. The memory card was full, and we did not notice until it was too late. So the recording stopped, and that's it. It's over. Thank you for listening to Filmmaking Sucks. You can look up 4MileCircus at 4MileCircus.com. The number 4, MileCircus.com. You can check out everything that Sean and Nicole have to offer, as well as possibly hire them for your next video production. And don't forget to check out the 4Mile Circus podcast, available wherever podcasts are sold, I guess. I don't know. You can get it on their website, where this week's episode, which went up on Monday, features myself and Lindsay on their show. So we got a nice, awesome little crossover event going here this week, as well as 2 bonus episodes that they're going to have on their feed, plus a bonus episode from the Axe Wound Film Festival back in October, where Lindsay was on their show discussing ancillary content and how you can use that to promote your film. So be sure, check out this feed later this week, as well as the 4MileCircus feed for some awesome crossover stuff. In the upcoming weeks, we'll be featuring the panels that I hosted at the Macabre Fair Film Festival, including the cinematography panel, the Latino filmmakers, and the Women in Horror panel. Look forward to those coming soon. We have more interviews coming as well. Lots of stuff coming up on the Filmmaking Sucks podcast. You don't want to miss it. Please subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher and wherever the hell you listen to us. So, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. Get out there, everybody, and make good films.